Hey Cancer, I hope you're doing well. This is going to be a general reading for Cancer, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter placements for the month of October 2025. Cancer, we are going to start with the Witch's Kitchen Oracle, and then we'll get into the Witch's Wisdom Oracle, and then we'll clarify with the Tarot and see what we got coming through for you. Cancer, I do have personals open right now for anybody who may be interested. Details are down below, okay? This is for Cancer, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter placements for October 2025. All right, what do we have here for you in the Witch's Kitchen Oracle? Arnica, Witch Hazel, Lemon, Recovery, Sensitivity, Bitterness. Eucalyptus on the bottom, Breathe. Okay. All right, let's see what else we got coming through, and then we'll clarify with the Tarot. Let's look at Witch's Wisdom, see what's coming through for you in this deck here. What's coming through here for Cancerian? Fire, Beltane, and the Witch's Hat. Homecoming. Okay, interesting. A lot of you, I feel like there's a new chapter that you're stepping into here. And I think that a lot of people around you could be very sensitive to it. You have this sensitivity card, you've got this bitterness card. I honestly don't feel like this is your energy being sensitive or bitter. I actually feel that with the recovery card showing up, there's something here that, like, you've made leaps and bounds and people thought that you wouldn't make them. I feel like they are being forced to eat their words in the month of October. And honestly, even a little bit in September, I feel like people are seeing you take huge steps here that maybe they always said you would never take. You have fire underneath it. You have passion. I feel like some of you, the fire card showing up here, I almost get this energy of like almost Queen of Wands. Like, she is somebody who's bold. She's fearless. She's assertive. She goes after what she wants. She's also very attractive. I feel like some of you are popping out in this very stunning energy. Stunning, abundant, This Beltane card, it's a card of fertility. It's giving me almost Empress vibes, Empress energy. So, I feel like for a lot of you, people are bitter. I feel like they're very sensitive to your come up here, especially for people who, how to describe this here? I feel like these could have been folks who were benefiting from the fact that you had not recovered from something, or from the fact that you had not pulled yourself up yet out of this rut. So yeah, when it comes to these cards right here, this sensitivity and this bitterness, I feel like some of you folks might expect you to water yourself down. You've got the fertility card showing up underneath sensitivity. So it almost makes me feel like folks are like not wanting to hear about your growth, or they're like kind of put off by it. So I don't really care for this. This seems like naysayer energy here in your reading coming through. You have the Witch's Hat. You have power showing up here. So, so far your energy, it looks, fire. You've got the fire card, you've got the fertility card, you've got the power card, you've got this stunning energy, and then on the bottom over here you had breathe. And for a lot of you, there's something to this here that makes me feel like you're expelling something, how to describe this here? I feel like there's just this release, this exhale, this, relief. That's the word that I'm looking for here. There's relief coming in after this recovery when this abundant energy comes in. Let me see what's coming through with the Tarot. What's coming through here for Cancerian with the Tarot in regards to the spread for October 2025? What's coming through here for Cancerian in regards to the spread here for October 2025? We have the Five of Swords. Petty energy, mental conflict, someone who will win at all costs. Some of you, a person could have been playing head games with you in the past. I feel like this is something that you have healed from. This fire sign, this air sign, whoever. I feel like they could be bitter about a come up that you're having here. Because again, I feel like you're in this space where there's been a lot of nourishment of self. Ace of Cups energy showing up here. You've poured a lot into yourself, and it's not just about like you're a mess and you're just kind of dressing it up with makeup or good clothes or whatever the case may be. No, I feel like you've genuinely poured into yourself internally, externally, your health, your well-being, your mindset. I feel like you've really poured into yourself and improved and healed a lot. Nobody's 100% healed and recovered from everything, right? But I do feel like for a lot of you, you've made leaps and bounds here, and there are folks who just simply don't want to see it. But guess what? That doesn't mean that it doesn't matter. And I think that's why the message is coming through here, is for Spirit to say, oh my goodness, this is absolutely a big deal, even if folks around you are not behaving as if it is, A lot of you, it's like I said, you're popping out in this very stunning energy. The Hermit, maybe you've kind of been to yourself for quite some time here. There could be a Virgo here who's kind of noticing, yeah, you're inaccessible. You're inaccessible, and I think that's something that's bothering someone really badly. You can see the star in the lantern there. Some of you might have Aquarius in your big three, Venus or Jupiter, but when it comes to that star being in the lantern, you're shining. I feel like you are stunning, you're abundant, you're victorious, and I feel like this is just a nightmare for all the naysayers in your energy. It's an absolute nightmare for them, and the reason I feel that they're showing up in your reading is because for some of you, maybe you started to get in your head with Five of Swords energy and the Hermit. Maybe you started to say, maybe I'm not all that. Maybe I'm not doing as great as I think I am. Maybe this isn't a big deal, right? No, it is. It is. And I feel like a lot of you, you're just not around folks who are giving you the credit that you deserve for this. You know, they're not giving you the support. And I know there's going to be a cross watcher or two in here who's like, why should Cancerian get a pat on the back for doing what they're supposed to do? Well, you're not doing what you're supposed to do, right? It's giving that kind of energy here. Folks are just mad. Folks are just mad here, Cancer, because you're taking away their excuses. Because for a lot of you, you had a lot to work through here in order to get to where you are, or in order to get to where you're going. And I think that when it comes to these folks, they didn't have as deep of a hole to dig themselves out of, and so they're kind of looking at you and you're taking away their excuses, basically. What else do we have here for Cancerian for the month of October? Ten of Pentacles. Man, blessings on blessings. I'm telling you, this is abundance. This is abundance, plain and simple. When it comes to the Ten of Pentacles energy, listen, when it comes to that, it is the best card in the deck for money, for work, for business, but it's also a great card for anything that you value, anything that you find important, Cancerian. It's a great card for that coming together, right? And I feel like a lot of you, another reason this energy is coming through is because things are going to be shifting so quickly for you that I feel like the sensitivity card is here to say you're going to be sensitive to new energies, to anything that's coming in, because you're trying to be open and receptive to the blessings. But in with that will pour energies like this that will pile on top of you, their discouragement, their limitations, their restrictions that they have for themselves, and you don't need to take that on. And I think that's another reason that this energy is showing up here, is because Spirit's saying, don't you become a naysayer for yourself as well, because you're clearly destined for bigger, right? You're clearly destined for bigger. And there are folks who are bitter about that. You know, you got the lemon card showing up here, but you've also got the witch's hat, which is a card of power. So yeah, Cancer, I really feel like a lot of you, you're coming out victorious when it comes to a really tough chapter that you've been down here. You're recovering from something. I don't know what that is, but it really feels like a bounce back, the energy of resilience. Something folks thought you'd never do, thought you'd never get up here, right? Thought you'd never get up from that energy. Nine of Pentacles is showing up, independence, and it doesn't mean you have to go so far in this direction that you're hyper independent and that you don't need anybody, you won't connect with anybody, because that's not healthy either, right? But I feel that for a lot of you, Spirit's wanting you to look at everything that you've done on your own, because you are going to have folks who come in, they're bitter and they're nasty, but once they realize that these blessings are sticking to you like glue and that they're not going anywhere, I feel like for a lot of you, these folks are going to pretend they were here the whole time. And so I think that's something where Spirit's like, you know, look at who was with you. Look at who was with you when you were hungry. It's giving me that kind of energy here. Nine of Swords. It's like I said, this Nine of Pentacles to the Nine of Swords energy, I feel like this is, look, polar opposite. You got the Ten of Pentacles and the Ten of Swords. Then you have the Nine of Pentacles and the Nine of Swords. This is crazy. You know, if they didn't starve with you, they can't eat with you. That's the energy that I'm getting here. It is crazy. I'm telling you what, and a lot of you, once you realize this and you draw these boundaries, I'm telling you, it's a nightmare for these folks. It is a nightmare for these folks, because it's just giving this energy here, Cancerian, of folks that were not supporting you. Folks that were not supporting you. But at the same time, I feel like it's important to note that blessings are coming in. You've made a lot of progress. I feel like for a lot of you, you have gotten up from things that a lot of people would stay down when it came to these energies here. This Ten of Swords, some of this stuff cannot even be discussed. I mean, it could in real life, but where I am and what I'm doing and the platform I'm on, there are guidelines and things. So some of this stuff cannot be discussed. But when it comes to this energy here, I'll just say that you've been through very tough cycles and you've gotten back up every time. And I feel like this is Spirit trying to tell you it is a big deal. Even if folks around you are pretending that it's not, it is 100% a big deal. Some of you, you may also, like, I feel like there could be financial improvements in the month of October. The energy looks very strong for that. Also environmental improvements. But I do think that for some of you may have an earth sign or an air sign moving into your energy here very slowly. I feel like they're being very cautious for whatever reason. I feel like they've got a guard up. So for those of you who are single and this person is coming in, I feel like they've got, and you're recognizing like something's off. I feel like they do have a guard up, and it could be because of a recent ending, but why are they coming towards you if that's the case? Some of you may want to get ahead of that. Like, seems like you're guarded. What's going on here? You know, if you're feeling that, you know, if you're feeling in your gut that that's what's going on, that somebody's being a little bit weird and standoffish even though they've approached you, it might be worth it to ask about that, to just be upfront about it so you don't waste your time or theirs, right? So yeah, Cancer, that's what I'm seeing here for you. Looks like really good energy, honestly. I know it doesn't seem that way. These Witch's Kitchen and Witch's Wisdom Oracles can kind of bring out some hidden things, which are sometimes nasty, right? But I felt like these were fitting for the month of October for, you know, things that might be exposed going into that month based on the astrology. So I do think that they were fitting. So yeah, that's what I'm seeing though. You're more than welcome to watch out for your other signs at the time that this is posted. There will be your sign, of course, as well as Libra, Aries, and Capricorn up. And then the next day we will do mutables, and then the next day fixed energy. All right. So, yeah, Cancer, I want to thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate you, and hopefully I will see you next time. Y'all take care. Bye.